Jay Tronson is 54 years old. He lives in Pearland, Texas, and I met him on the day that he was going to India for hip surgery. He was going to Chennai in southern India. Jay was a truck driver, a delivery truck driver, and after years of jumping off the back of a truck, he started getting a major hip problem. And his doctor told him he needed surgery, but he just couldn't afford it. It was going to be $30,000, $60,000, maybe even more, and he had just quit his job because the pain had just gotten so bad. So he knew he couldn't afford it.
Well, I've been dealing with the pain for over 2 years, a significant amount of pain, and it was getting progressively worse.
Because before, he didn't even want to go upstairs into my room, and because it would hurt so much, but when he would sit down on a couch or a chair, he wouldn't be able to get up, and I was like, that's it, you have to go to the doctor. Me and my mom kept begging him and begging him for a while. Then he finally went to go see a doctor.
Jay decided to become a medical tourist and go to India. He found this company called World Med Assist online, and they connected him with Apollo Specialty Hospital in Chennai, and he decided to have hip resurfacing, which is an alternative to hip replacement. I had heard that Americans were going overseas for medical care because it was cheaper, and it just fascinated me because here we are in the state where 1 in 4 people does not have health insurance, which is a higher percentage than any other state. On a Monday night, Jay and I flew from Houston to London, and then we arrived in Chennai at 4 a.m. on a Wednesday. The first thing Jay noticed was a ton of traffic outside.
Their driving techniques are very different from American traffic. Stop signs are just a suggestion. It's suddenly starting to sink in that I'm actually gonna get this done. And it's like, after 2 years of waiting, it's hard to believe. It's just, I'm actually here in India. Halfway around the world.
Jay was a little surprised when he first saw the hospital. He had sort of expected this very modern building like he had seen on websites about medical tourism. But when he got inside, they took him to an area called the Platinum Ward, and he had a computer and flat screen TV in his room, and that's the area where the foreign patients stay.
You're treated like a VIP over there.
Jay's doctor is Vijay Bose, and he is one of the world's most experienced surgeons in the type of hip resurfacing that Jay had.
I had complete confidence in the doctor in this situation. He's one of 5 doctors in the world who's had more than 1,000 of these operations. They get you out of bed the very first day after surgery, and they swing you over the side of the bed and get you to stand up. And that's the first step.
In India, the surgery was about $8,000, and when you add in the plane ticket, hotel, and food, Jay was looking at about $13,000, which is still a significant savings from what he would have paid in the United States. With the recovery and everything, Jay spent a total of almost 3 weeks in India, and then he went back home to Pearland. He couldn't wait to get back home and have Tex-Mex and barbecue.
The first stop after being picked up from the airport was Gringo's Mexican restaurant, non-stop. Didn't even bother to go home first, just go straight there.
These days, Jay is looking for a job, and he's spending a lot of time hanging out with his granddaughter Casey, riding bikes, which is something he couldn't do very well before the trip.
It's night and day. It's completely different.